once again to another episode of our Treasures of the Past and Experiences of the Present, a series of conversation with SVD missionaries. I am Marlon Vargas, one of the SVD missionaries, and I am very excited for our episode today because this is my first time to have a conversation with a sinologist, what it means to be a sinologist. And today, to learn more about the field of sinology and to meet another SVD confrere who is doing great job in mission for many years, I am happy to present to you Father Peter Adamek.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for the invitation.
We are pleased to have you in this conversation. For the sake of all our audience all over the world, could you please introduce or tell us more about yourself, especially your vocation journey, and how did you end up doing in this field of sinology?
Okay, it's a long way. My name is Piotr Adamek, uh, SVD, Divine Word Missionaries, originally from Poland and now working in Taiwan in the Fujian Catholic University in Taipei. My vocation started in Poland. The first 4 years I was there in the seminary, and 1993, two our missionaries uh, from Germany, from St. Augustine, came to Nysa, to Nice in Poland, and they explained for us the situation in China, explained for us the Chinese mission, also what they did in St. Augustine. There was Father Roman Malek and Father Zbigniew Wesolowski. They started these years, as of 1993, there was already the China Center, a center for Germany, Austria, and Switzerland for information about the church in China, about religions in China. Also, Chinese seminarians came to Germany for studying, and I was fascinated by this, for me, very new world. Therefore, in the time of my philosophy study, I applied to continue my studies in Germany in the place where our sinological, SVD Sinological Institute Monumenta Serica was.
Wow.
This is my time in Germany. My theological studies were there in Germany. I was ordained a priest in Germany, and after the pastoral year, I went for my sinological studies in Moscow, in Russia.
Okay. Wow.
For 5 years, it was very interesting contact with well, still very different culture, Russian culture, also with the Orthodox Church. Later, after 2 years in Taiwan and China, I went back to St. Augustine. I worked there in the institute and wrote also my thesis, my doctoral thesis, which I, also the defense of the thesis was in Holland, in Leiden University. And later, I worked for 15 years in Germany as I was the director of Monumenta Serica Institute. For a few years, also the rector there in the our SVD community. 6 years ago, I came to Taiwan, and I'm teaching at Fujian Catholic University in the Department of Religious Studies. There, I am also responsible for our University History Office, Center of Interreligious Dialogue, and Monumenta Serica Sinological Research Center is actually a daughter of our SVD Institute in Germany.
Oh, wow. Well, Father Peter, I find your vocation journey really interesting. One particular interesting there is how you move from one culture to another. You said you are from Poland and then you studied in Germany and then you also went to Russia to study and you are working in China. Oh no, not China. You learned the Chinese language and culture, but you went to Taiwan. Is that correct?
It's right, but Taiwan is actually a part of Chinese culture.
Okay.
Well, there are also other cultures, but still 99% of people are related to the Chinese culture. And many people say, or scholars say that Taiwan preserved actually in the best way the Chinese culture. What what was lost in mainland China during the Cultural Revolution is preserved in Taiwan.
That's, I think, important point to clarify or to highlight, because there are still many people who are getting confused about in terms of geographically, where's China, where's Taiwan. But since you are doing your ministry, your service in Taiwan, perhaps my question for now is, as a sinologist and a SVD missionary, how has your understanding of Chinese culture, philosophy, or perhaps history deepen your experience of your mission in evangelization, or the other area could be the intercultural dialogue with the Chinese
Mm.
community or people in Taiwan?
The Chinese culture, including the Chinese culture in Taiwan, is very different from my home culture, from European culture. Actually, I learned Chinese culture last 25 years, and I'm
Wow.
continuing to learn.
Totally.
Also the language and some customs. But it's really inspiring uh, if I if I see how people live their culture and their faith. Taiwan is actually called one of the most religious nation. If you see,
Oh.
there are very few Christians, maybe
Mhm.
only 1% Catholics in Taiwan, but 90% or maybe more
Yeah.
are uh, are in this or other way related to one religious tradition. It can be Buddhist, Taoist, Christianity, or the most of them, maybe 85%, are related to the Taiwanese folk religion, which is actually Chinese popular religion.
Oh, wow.
This was a very special experience for me uh, because I had, of course, my vision uh, from Europe. What is what is right? What
Yeah.
is what is the Christianity or the Christian culture? And I learned actually that there are many possibility to see. For example, in Europe, we usually kneel before in front of altar
Yes.
of Jesus. In China, in Taiwan, it's very it's actually the only form is to bow
Diba? Yeah.
in front of altar. Uh, Also, traditional Chinese rites, rituals like, for example, incense,
Incense, yeah.
yeah, are in the Catholic
The
Church.
church.
Also, what we call spirit tablets
Yes.
for ancestors are in Taiwan in the church. Uh, there is Catholic Church, but I see there are many ways of expression uh, of Christian values in the Chinese culture. It's a very long tradition of dialogue between Chinese
Yes.
culture and Christianity, and there are always different times for that. If you think about Jesuits 400 years ago, they were very open for Confucian scholars.
Yes.
Uh, Later, in the time of Chinese right controversy, actually everything what was Chinese or from Chinese culture was suspicious, and only last 100 years, 80 years, now the church try to inculturate Christianity in the Chinese culture. But until now, there are still many problems. For example, uh, our Chinese or Taiwanese believers, they still think that the real Christianity is the Western Christianity.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Wow.
I had such experience as I came to Taiwan.
Yeah.
I wanted to in the time of Christmas. I wanted to buy a Christmas card, and I hope to have something Chinese. Yeah, there are some cards in the Chinese way, Chinese Christian cards, but I uh, could could not find
Mm-hmm.
it
In
in Taiwan in
Taiwan.
many places. And finally, somebody said in this shop, it maybe there is something. So I
Okay.
went there. I asked the sister who
Mm-hmm.
sold cards there or books there, and she said no, no, never seen.
Mm-hmm.
And in that time, an older sister came and said, "Wait a moment."
Mm-hmm.
She looked in a
Yeah.
very strange place. Yeah, put
She
out.
found it.
Yeah, she found a few cards and said, "Only foreigners buy something like that."
Oh.
Mm. So
You're,
it was for me also experience that enculturation. Uh, well, sometimes we have some
mm-hmm.
vision of enculturation, but in fact, the local
Mm-hmm.
people have to think about that and to do it.
Father Peter, if I heard it correctly, you mentioned that you've been still learning the language, the culture
Mm.
for more than 25 years. And you shared a few of those interesting things about or facts about the practices, rituals, the gesture of bowing, the use of Christmas card for
Mm.
Christmas, and also the use of incense. So
Mm.
there's so many practices that we could really go deeper into to learn more about the Chinese culture. But I would like to ask this question in line with the celebration of our Catholic Church.
Mhm.
As you know, we celebrate the Jubilee Year of Hope in our Catholic Church. So I would like to ask if you could share something you have learned or experienced about hope through your mission or your study in the field of sinology, especially in your ministry in Taiwan. Have you heard or experienced that something about hope?
Mm. I think hope is one of the key words in the Chinese culture.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, if we speak about cross, if we
Mm-hmm.
speak
Yeah.
about Christianity, maybe many Chinese have some problems with
Mm-hmm.
that. But if you speak about hope, it's experience which every person, every
Yes.
Chinese person has. And it's a very good start point for a dialogue with
Mm-hmm.
Chinese culture. In the university, also as a chair for interreligious dialogue, we have many contacts with different religious groups,
Mm-hmm.
but also especially with Chinese popular religion,
Mm-hmm.
folk religion, which is the biggest one in Taiwan. And I see the faith and hope of people
Mm-hmm.
coming there in these folk religious temples. They are not Christians, and they come from very different tradition.
Mm-hmm.
So you could say there is a very different context. It's nothing related to
Mm-hmm.
Christianity, and still I found it's quite easy and well sometimes even inspiring
Mm-hmm.
to speak to these believers. I can see their faith there
Mm-hmm.
in the local temples, and also the hope
Yeah.
they have there. I think it's also something we can learn as Christians,
Mm-hmm.
that sometimes we have some intellectual
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
visions
Yes.
or plans, but in fact the most important
Mm-hmm.
is the life in the center,
Mm-hmm.
and their hope is a very good point to study.
Yes. In other words, it could hope is definitely a common ground for both of us, especially with
Mm.
coming from two different side or different contexts in terms of faith. So, hearing that about how you experience or learn hope in the context of Chinese culture, one of the most frequently asked questions in the conversation with an SVD missionary, especially for someone who's been doing very committed in mission, is this. Uh, Reflecting on our 150 years of SVD missionary presence,
Mm.
could you please share your own unique challenges and even opportunities that you have encountered in bringing the gospel, especially to Chinese speaking communities or the Chinese
Mm.
culture?
I could speak 2 hours about that. I think we have
I
not
wish we have that time,
this
but
time. uh, but China was the first mission of our
yes,
society
yes, that is right.
150 years ago.
Mm,
Actually, 140 6 years
Yes.
ago we came to China, and since that time we have been almost all the time in some parts of Chinese world. We started also very fast our academic work. We started the Fujian Catholic University in Peking. We were in charge of that. But until now, we cannot say that China
Yes.
is a Catholic or a Christian country. Actually, until now, this is a big challenge how to approach Chinese culture and how to be Christian in the Chinese culture. Uh, Particularly for me, how to work as a Catholic in the Catholic university if anybody there is non-Catholic. Yeah, it's usually I think all other SVD universities are in the more or less Catholic surrounding, but our university with 25,000 students,
Oh,
2,000
wow.
professors, has only 1% Catholic.
Really?
So we are
1%.
really a very small group, and it is a challenge also for me. How can I really well give a testimony, live as a Christian there? We speak about that. We learn how to do it. We want to stress even more 2 points which are important for us in the Catholic University: care for people, for
Yes.
students, for professors, and dialogue. These 2 points are in this context, in the Chinese context, non-Christian context, I think the two signs which people understand and appreciate. The Catholic Church in Taiwan is known from its education work and
Yes.
healing work, hospitals and medical care. And I think it's important to continue this way, taking care of people and also to have a dialogue with the Chinese culture.
Father Peter, that last line that you said, that you mentioned, I would take that for me as an invitation, especially for the new missionaries or the younger missionaries who are very passionate of going there to the mission and to serve, to be with the people. So I guess for our final question would be, what message or encouragement would you like to share with us, with our community, with the people we serve with, especially those discerning their vocation or interested in mission, about the value of intercultural understanding and the role of hope in the today's world.
It's fascinating to learn other cultures, and Chinese culture is, I think, for me personally, also a very good example for these cultures of others. And this is also a very good occasion to live really your missionary life, your Christian life, not just thinking about that, but really practicing it every day. So everybody is welcome to Taiwan, also to our Fujian University.
Thank you so much, Father Peter. So, dearest friends, obviously, we learn a lot from Father Peter's experience, wisdom, and mission in Taiwan. So, thank you very much, Father Peter, for joining us in this conversation. We wish you all the best and keep in mind that we are with you in prayers and in mission.
Thank you, Father Marlon. Thank you, everybody. God bless you.
Once again, friends, I am Marlon Vargas, and thank you for joining us in this conversation with SVD Missionary.